my library, always open for business.
Today's Thursday and it is about 6:30 in the evening, and I have been working most of the day. I am now about to head to the opening night of my show, Personal Library, about a girl who escapes from her reality by reading books. That's opening tonight, so I'm about to leave for that with my dad. But today I have been reading Frankenstein, and I'm on page 110, and that means that I only have 55 pages left till I get to the end, and I'm very excited. This is a good book. It is good. I like it, but it's not my favorite. I had a really hard time with part 1. I really enjoyed part 2, which is like from the monster's perspective. My favorite part so far, for sure. And now I've entered into part 3, which I'm a little skeptical of because it's back from Victor's perspective again, and I'm just like, I don't know. I will keep you updated on how that goes. I still have 3 more books to read to complete the 7 books in 7 days challenge, and I will only have 3 days in which to do that.
You're my library, always open for business.
Today is the 5th day of the readathon, and Marianne and I are just about to go to the library because my dad is currently at the hospital right now getting his surgery. We are going to go to the library to get him a bunch of movies. Ready? Yep. Let's go. So, I still have not finished Frankenstein. I know, I am ashamed of myself, but I will finish it today because I only have like 40 pages left. Then I'll move on to the David Mamet book on playwriting, which is only 80 pages long, so it's super short, and that should be fine. And then I have the play to read, which shouldn't take more than 2 hours, and then I have the last book is the Here in Berlin, which I should have time to read between tomorrow and Sunday. But yeah, that's my plan. I think I can still be on track to finish 7 books in 7 days, but Frankenstein has slowed me down. Marianne, have you read any books?
I'm in the middle of reading Personal Recollections of Joan of Arc by Mark Twain, so I'm not sure if that's actually written by the people who knew her or not, or whether it's written by Mark Twain. I don't know. It says it has a translator. So I'm in the middle of that, and I'm also in the middle of The Shoes of the Fisherman. I'm not sure who that's by. It's kind of dull so far.
Yeah, she reads a lot of classics. How about we go to the Milky Way and get some tangerine ice cream?
That sounds good.
I was hoping you'd have a more pleasant reaction, but whatever. Way to disappoint the vlog.
Tangerine ice cream sounds very good. Yay!
The enthusiasm is just killing me. So, what books did you get from the library?
I got Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and Replica, which is
by Lauren Oliver.
Yes, by Lauren Oliver, which is an interesting format. Vengeance Road by Aaron Bowman, or Bauman, I don't know. You can read that for yourself and figure it out. Darker Shade of Magic
by V.E. Schwab.
Yes. The name is on the front of the book, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but you're supposed to say it. It helps.
The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. Passenger by Alexandra Bracken.
Yep. And those were all by my recommendation, by the way. I actually haven't read, the only one of those I've read is A Darker Shade of Magic. I haven't read any of the others, but I trust the bookish community enough to recommend them to my sister. So you better not be letting me down. And so when we get home, I will have to leave again fairly soon for my play, the second night, because last night was opening night, like I mentioned. But before I have to leave again, Marianne and I are going to have a little reading session, aren't we?
Yeah.
Thank you, you too. Who recommends you good books? Who buys you ice cream?
My sister, Emma, of course.
Yes. The best sister in the world, wouldn't you say?
Of course.
So here are all the book options. We've already decided that Marianne is not going to start with Replica because I'm going to ask you guys on Instagram how she should read it, like one side first and then the other side, or if she should switch back and forth between chapters. So that one's out of the mix. So out of these 5, which one sounds the most interesting to you?
These 2 seem pretty interesting. Hello, cat.
So, The Hazelwood or A Darker Shade of Magic. I think I would kind of vote The Hazelwood because I haven't read it. So it would be fun to sort of see you react to it. It's also a newer one, so it's a little more popular on the Bookstagram and the Booktube. So people will be like, oh, your sister's cool. She's reading a cool book. Right?
Sure.
Always open for business.
We have reached day 6 of the Booktubeathon. It's now like 3:30 in the afternoon. This morning I finished Frankenstein, which I didn't love. I had kind of mixed feelings about it. I just really don't like Victor Frankenstein, so all of the sections that were from his perspective, I was just like, I don't care, Victor. I don't really sympathize with you. My favorite section was the section that was from the monster's perspective in the middle, and I was like all about that section. That was only like less than a third of the book, and so the rest of it I was just like... So I ended up giving it 2 stars. I hate rating classics low because I understand that like classics are classics for a reason, obviously, and I love to love a classic, but I just was not a big fan of this one. I like the story, I just don't really like the way that this is written. Sorry, Mary Shelley. Then this afternoon, I both started and finished 3 Uses of the Knife by David Mamet, and this is like an instructional book on the purpose and nature of drama. This is only 81 pages, and I'll just say, thank goodness. It was okay, it wasn't great. I give it 2.5 stars. I just disagreed with a lot of what David Mamet had to say, and I thought that the way he portrayed a lot of it was kind of arrogant, and like he has a really negative view of drama, and I was like, why are you in the theater world if you have this negative view? I just wasn't the biggest fan. He did say some good, interesting things that I underlined and was like useful, so I don't regret reading it because it was short. It was fine. Not a great reading day. But now I have 2 books left to complete the readathon. First of all, the one that I just started is Here in Berlin by Christina Garcia, and this is a page habit box, so it has the really nice sticky notes that I'm excited to look at. So I'm really excited to start this one, and hopefully I'll be able to finish it in the next 2 days, along with this one. It's a play called Black Jesus, and it's very short. It's only 46 pages, so I should have no problem finishing this. As some of you may remember from just a few minutes ago in the vlog, Marian and I went to the library yesterday and got a bunch of books. She started reading In the Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. So Marian, what did you think? What are your thoughts? How far in are you? How's the reading experience?
I'm to page 280, which is most of the way through.
Nice.
It's pretty good. It's kind of like a mix between A Wrinkle in Time and Edgar Allan Poe.
Interesting. So you're liking it so far?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Do you know what book you're gonna read next?
I do not know.
I will let you know how the reading goes from here.
Always open for business.
We have reached the end of the last day of the Booktubeathon. It is currently almost 9:30 p.m. so I still have like 2.5 hours in which I need to finish this book and finish Black Jesus, the play, which is in my backpack. So I just got home back to my house, and I have a ton of packages waiting for me. And I know what some of these are, but I don't know what a couple of these are. This will be fun. So first I ordered a ton of plays from thrift books because you can never find plays for a reasonable price. Like, they just don't exist. But for some reason, there were a ton of them on thrift books when I happened to be looking, so I ordered a bunch. I like thrift books because you can find things that you like can't find on Book Outlet and other used book websites. But one of the things I don't like about thrift books is that all of the orders like ship separately. Like, you don't just get a big box. Okay, this first one is Top Dog Underdog, which is the 2002 Pulitzer Prize winner for drama. I think this won a Tony Award. Anyway, it's in pretty good shape. Honestly, I have no idea what this is about. Alright, this is exciting. I found The Silkworm. Yay! I own The Cuckoo's Calling, which I am buddy reading right now with the amazing Sophia Reeds. And I own the third book in hardcover. I found one of them at Goodwill and I found the other one at just a thrift store. But I couldn't find The Silkworm in a hardcover because I wanted them all to match, and I was not going to buy it full price because it's expensive. So I finally found it on thrift books in good condition. So very excited about that. That's great, so I can continue on in the series. And then I got The Lion in Winter, which is a pretty famous play about domestic turmoil, basically, is what it says. It is about Henry II and Eleanor of Aquitaine maneuvering against each other. It combines a historical and philosophical insight. It was adapted into a film. It's very famous, but I really don't know anything about it, so I should for sure read it, so I'm really glad that I now own a copy. And then I got this play called Rabbit Hole by David Lindsay-Abaire, which I have already read and I really love and I really wanted to own a copy of. And when I saw that they had this edition of it for like $3 on thrift books, I could not pass it up. It was so exciting. Oh, this is basically about a woman who lost her son. Her son died, like her young son, and it's all about her like grieving process, and it is just beautiful. I love it, and you will cry. You'll super cry. All right, and then one more thrift books package. After this order, I'm putting myself on a book buying ban because since I'm moving, because I'm graduating at the end of the year, since I'm moving at the end of the year, I'm gonna do a TBR shelf clean out challenge, basically, just to try to read all the books off of my TBR shelf that I can, so that I can figure out which ones I'm ready to give away and which ones I really want to hang on to, because I really don't want to give away books that I haven't read yet. Anyways, okay, so yes, so then I got Ruined by Lynn Nottage, which Lynn Nottage is a wonderful playwright. I have Sweat by her up there on my shelf, which is her latest play, I think. This won the Tony Award for Best Play in 2009. This is set in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and beyond that, I really know nothing about it, but I'm super excited. Ooh, someone took notes. That's fun. I like that. I do really like getting used books with notes in them, because then I get to see what other people thought of them. I think it's cool. I'm super excited to read this. I really, really am. Now moving on to the stuff that I don't know what it is. I'm wondering if it might be part of the book exchange thing that I did. What is in here? Oh, look at this cute little card with the little teacup on it. This is so cute. Aw, it is from the book exchange. Oh, this makes my heart so happy. She says, Emma, I'm participating in the book exchange from @OfficeBookGarden on Instagram. Go follow her. you are my book recipient. I hope you enjoyed this book. I read it about 25 years ago and it stuck with me. It's not about apartheid so much as it is about overwhelming obstacles and pursuing forward using the power of one. Please enjoy. Feel free to contact me. Oh, your book friend. Oh my gosh. This is so exciting. Okay, so the book that she gave me is called The Power of One. And the synopsis is, in 1939, as Hitler casts his enormous, cruel shadow across the world, the seeds of apartheid take root in South Africa. There, a boy called PK is born. His childhood is marked by humiliation and abandonment, yet he vows to survive and conceives heroic dreams, which are nothing compared to what life actually has in store for him. He embarks on an epic journey through a land of tribal superstition and modern prejudice, where he will learn the power of words, the power to transform lives, and the power of one. Wow, this is a long book. It just is tiny, tiny words, but oh my gosh, it's a beautiful floppy paperback. Love a floppy paperback. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. Chrissy, if you happen to be watching this video, which that would be like the biggest coincidence ever, but if you are, thank you so, so, so much. I'm so excited to get to this, and your card is so beautiful and cute. I love it. Thank you. And now one last box. I again don't know who this is from, but this looks like professional, you know, like it looks like a company. So I wonder if this might be an ARC. I don't know how you're supposed to open this. Jeez Louise. Struggling. Okay, scissor time. Oh, yep, this is an ARC that I was expecting. Okay, this is called Gazelle in the Shadows by Michelle Peach. In the mid-90s, Elizabeth Booth is a young British college student studying Arabic at Durham University. With some travel and work already under her belt, she excels at her studies and is sent to Damascus to immerse herself in the language. Taken aback by the generosity and kindness of the people there, she easily slips into a life in the ancient city. She has friends, her studies, and even a handsome boyfriend, but things aren't always as they seem. Soon, in a world where mistrust and disloyalty are commonplace, Elizabeth finds herself navigating a web of lies, betrayals, and even murder involving M16, the British Secret Service, deadly terrorist factions, and the shadowy Syrian secret police. I love this cover. Let's take a peek at this cover. I hope I like this. Wow, what a feast of new books. That's exciting. I'm gonna put these where they belong, and then I'm gonna curl up and hopefully finish reading Here in Berlin and read that entire play before midnight, because then I will have completed my goals and I will be very proud of myself. It is currently 12:04, so I'm 4 minutes overtime, I guess, but I just finished Black Jesus by Anders Lustgarten, and this was a really interesting play. It's like nothing I've ever read before, and for that I really appreciate it. There are a lot of moments in this where I was like, ooh, bad writing. I would write this differently, but it was really, really cool, and I love that it's such a different story from the stories that I usually read. It's about a young woman who's working for the new Truth and Justice Commission in Zimbabwe in 2015, and she's interviewing perpetrators of old horrors during the Mugabe regime. And so she's interviewing this guy, Gabriel, who was called Black Jesus because he enacted punishment on people, and he judged people like himself. He was just like, you deserve to die, or you deserve to live. And he was basically a murderer and a torturer. So she's interviewing him, which that was really interesting, and it jumps around a lot in locations, and it's a really short play. And it feels like a lot happens in a very short play, which I was like, I don't know. And there was like a little side plot that I was just like, why? It doesn't make sense. So I don't know. I would give this 3.5 stars, I think. And then I also finished Here in Berlin, which I liked and was a really interesting perspective on World War II. I really, really liked the perspective it took because it talked about it talked about the perspectives of a lot of Germans during World War II in Berlin and right after World War II in Berlin. And it told stories of Nazis and also people who weren't Nazis but like just said what they had to survive, basically. There's a lot of really sad stuff, and I found some really good ideas for my play to sort of like build, because there's going to be a young German girl character, so I have some great ideas for her like background that I'm gonna throw in and write down. But this was okay. It wasn't great. I would again, I think, give it 3.5 stars. And that is it for the Booktubeathon. I read 7 books in 7 days, and I'm pretty freaking proud of myself. To quickly go through all of the books I read in order, I started with Trail of Lightning, which I gave 3.5 stars. And then I read The Gigantic Beard That Was Evil, which I gave 4.5 stars. And then I read The Last Time We Say Goodbye by Cynthia Hand, which I gave 5 stars. And then I read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which I gave 2 stars. And then I read 3 Uses of the Knife by David Mamet, which I gave 2.5 stars. Then I read Here in Berlin by Christina Garcia, which I'm giving 3 stars. And then I read Black Jesus by Anders Lustengarten, which I gave 3.5 stars. So that is a pretty freaking successful readathon, if you ask me. So, yay! I did it! Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed following along with this vlog. And if you participated in Booktubeathon, let me know what you guys read down in the comments, because I'm really curious to know. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Mwah!